Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's short video, I'm sharing 4 no-cook extreme budget meal ideas that are super inexpensive, coming in at about $4 each, and that will feed a family of 4. All the meals can be made with the same ingredients, so the cost of each meal is drastically reduced. I have 2 chicken dishes and 2 that are vegetarian. To start out with, I'm making a classic chicken salad sandwich, and here are my ingredients. This is one of those recipes that I'm sure everyone already knows about, but this is just a reminder that here's another inexpensive meal that you can make when it's hot outside and you need something quick to throw together. I know sometimes I forget about meals even though I'm aware of them. I just kind of forget about them until something reminds me. I'm using red onions, but you could always use green onions if you prefer. They're usually less expensive where I live, and you can also add in some pickles if you want, but I'm just making mine like this, and for this recipe I left my chicken in small chunks instead of shredding it. My son wanted his with toasted bread to add some extra texture to the dish, which I think that the chopped celery does as well, and I made sure to dice mine into the smaller pieces. For my next recipe, I'm making a classic chickpea salad, and for this one, I'm going to be using this Oro Wheat Sweet Baby Grains bread that I picked up, but if you're on an extreme budget, then go ahead and use the Walmart Great Value brand. But I've been eating a lot of sandwiches this summer, so I thought to give myself a little variety, I would try this bread. I did soak my red onion in water just to tame it down a bit, and I also reserved some of the chickpea liquid in case I wanted to use it later. And then I just blended up the chickpeas in my blender until it was the consistency that I wanted. This chickpea salad has been in my sights for a while now, but I've never tried it, so I'm definitely looking forward to this. I think you can get about 2 to 3 sandwiches out of 1 can of the chickpeas, so I think if I had a family of 4, I would go ahead and get the dried chickpeas and make those, unless you just want to save time with the canned. And I'm adding a tiny amount of mustard because I have it, but that is completely optional. And then I'm also going to be adding some salt and pepper to this. I think this is also referred to as vegan tuna salad. I'm sure there are lots of varieties to this, like maybe you could add some lemon or some dill or some pickles, but I'm going to try it just like this. I like the fact that these chickpeas are protein packed, and it's a very inexpensive option for feeding your family, getting some good nutrition for not a lot of money. I wanted to try this before I added in the onions, and it's so creamy tasting, more than I thought it was going to be. I really like the texture of this. I also had some butter lettuce and some Roma tomatoes that I picked up, and I'm going to try this sandwich with those, but obviously those are optional. I like to try different kinds of lettuces now and then, just to mix things up a bit. This butter lettuce is so beautiful. It has such a lovely green color. I don't usually buy this, so it is a bit of a treat, but I'm really liking it. Look how uneven my chickpea filling is. I should have done a better job with that. This was really delicious though. I would definitely make this again. I loved how fluffy the chickpea mixture was. I had another sandwich later on the other bread and without the lettuce and tomatoes, and I really enjoyed it that way as well. In retrospect, I realize I've been missing out in my life by not eating this sandwich. This is excellent, and you can make this in the $2 range. Okay, now we're getting into my favorite part of this video. I made a curry chicken salad for the first time. Basically, it's the same ingredients, but we're also going to be adding some diced red apple and a small amount of raisins. And for this, I purchased a 6-pack of these raisins at Walmart, but I only used half a pack for every 2 sandwiches, so 1 pack would be fine for 4. And for this one, I made sure to shred up the chicken, and I added a half a teaspoon of curry to 3 tablespoons of mayo. And here I was just making 2 sandwiches, but I mixed it together and then I tasted it before I added it to the remainder of the ingredients. It tastes really good. I think there's a fine line between having too much curry, where it becomes slightly bitter, and then having just the right amount. So I would be careful with it if I were you when making it. If you're eating low carb or you'd rather do without the bread, you can always serve this on butter leaves. And I especially liked this butter lettuce that I picked up at Walmart. It came with the root ball, and then you just pull off each leaf as you go, and it helps to ensure that your lettuce stays fresh. This was so delicious. If you've never tried curry chicken salad before, I definitely recommend it. There's something magical that happens with the curry against the apples and raisins. Plus, I love the fact that we're using the inexpensive apples to make the chicken stretch further. I've seen some people use Granny Smith apples, so I'd be curious to see how that turns out, but I just used an inexpensive red delicious apple, and you only need a small one. When I realized how delicious this was, I was eager to try a meatless option for this, and I had just a little bit of my chickpea salad left, so I added some apples and raisins to this, along with some of the curry and a little more vegan mayo. And you guys, this was so good. I was actually shocked at how much I love this. I put it in the fridge and let it sit for a while, and then later I added a few chopped walnuts, and I ate this for dinner on top of some Ritz crackers. There are so many fun things I think you could do with this recipe. I think that it would be great with some sunflower seeds. You could also try it with some pineapple mixed in, and if you don't like chickpeas, you could always use a white bean or substitute the bean for eggs or even potatoes. This was definitely a 10 for me, so I hope you'll consider trying either the curry chicken or the curry chickpea salad. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And for my bonus recipe, I'm making a pistachio salad, which is also called Watergate salad. And I think this usually calls for crushed pineapple, but I like my chunks a little bit larger, and it's easy enough for me to cut these rings down. Lately, I've basically just been craving anything that's cold. I haven't made this recipe in years. I know it's super popular to make for like potlucks or family picnics. I reserved some of the pineapple juice just because I don't want this to be too sweet. And then I put 1.5 cups of marshmallows in this, along with the pistachio mix. This has to be the easiest recipe ever. It's basically just dump all of the ingredients in and stir it up. I've also made this with a tub of cottage cheese, and that's great because it makes it less sweet and adds protein in. Unless, of course, you'd like it sweeter, maybe you want to have this for a dessert instead of a side. You can also add nuts to this if you want, or top it with maraschino cherries. I put this in the freezer to get nice and cold before I served it, and this was so refreshing. I tried this with some shredded coconut, and that was good also. I hope you like this short video and that you're all having a great summer. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.